What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome into another edition of Final Whistle. With me today, I have Pat Lawless, founder of the front office, one of my buddies from Seton Hall. I'm running through my Seton Hall buddies right now, getting through this podcast. Pat, thanks for coming on, taking some time out of your day.
Blaine, thank you. First of all, thank you so much. And, I was talking to CJ about this earlier today. CJ does the front office with me. And I was like, dude, if I don't do this podcast with Blaine, there's something wrong with me, because there's two people that helped me get through college. One of them being my mom, and the other one being Blaine Spencer. So this was a no doubter for me, dude. This is the least I could do for the.
I'm glad I have a little bit of pull to bring you into this podcast. It's just some guilt there that you have to guilt to hop on.
Dude, no, I would have done it either way. But I'm saying, Blaine, like when I walked the stage, Blaine should have walked it up with me. Like we should have, the diploma should have been addressed to.
We should have had half of the degree there split off.
Yeah. That's how much this guy meant to me during my college career. So yeah, this is a a no doubter for me.
Well, I'm humbled, so thank you. I'm humbled that I get your recognition, honestly. But if you don't know Pat Lawless, he's big-time college basketball advocate. His front office covers a lot of college basketball interviews, as well as some high school interviews where they're declaring for school and what they're trying to bring into impact into the next level, that is collegiate basketball. So, of course, we're going to focus on college basketball, make it simple for Pat, and don't take him out of his comfort zone. So, Pat, I just want to get your general perspective here on the college basketball season so far. I know a lot of teams have been impressive, and I think we're just glad that college basketball is even playing at the moment with COVID-19 shutting down some programs at different times, and with the whole scheduling. Just give me your overall input so far.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just happy to have college basketball back. It's been way, way, way too long. I think, obviously kind of stinks that we're seeing, I like everybody, I have John Rothstein on notifications. So every time I see, I don't know, the latest was Gonzaga paused their operations. And about team activities. And, you see that kind of stinks. But the gameplay has been fine. And I think that all things considered, it's gone pretty smoothly. I think the no fan stuff, the Bubbleville thing was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm just thrilled to have it back. I mean, it's been way too long. And, are we going to run into some more issues the next couple months? Yeah. But I think that, what we're seeing is college basketball came prepared and have the right procedures in place to do this thing. So I have faith that we'll be able to get through this season without canceling or doing anything crazy. But overall, I've been pretty happy with it. And just happy for it to be back, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we were all kind of bummed when Gonzaga, just the most recent program, went on pause. We had the Gonzaga Baylor showdown that we were craving on this past Saturday. That didn't happen. I just want to get, what are the top teams that have caught your eye so far? For me, Gonzaga's been easily the most dominant team so far, and I think there's a clear gap between Gonzaga and everybody else. And I think Baylor's been relatively impressive. I know Illinois lost to Baylor, but they've looked relatively solid. And I think the most team that's flying under the radar for me was Michigan State. I don't think they're getting as much love as people are actually giving them credit for. So just give me some teams that you think have impressed you so far.
You kind of mentioned them there. I mean, I just love Illinois. I'll say this, and you mentioned right there, there is a clear gap between Gonzaga right now and the second best team in the country, whether that is Iowa, Baylor, whoever that second team is for you. But there's a clear gap. And I thought Illinois, if you watch that game back, Illinois, for a good part of the game, was holding their own. And I think if they're playing, and honestly, I think they could have played better. They made some careless mistakes at points and some uncharacteristic mistakes if you're watching that back. So I've been telling my friends all year, I love watching Illinois. Io DeSumne's, electric. Kobe Cockburn's electric. So, I mean, I could talk about Illinois forever. I love Illinois. I think we're kind of, sleeping on, and I don't know how, but I think we're sleeping on Villanova a little bit. I get that it's a tough loss. It was a rough loss, but I think I think it's, like John Rothstein says, it's Fortune 500 company. And, Colin Gillespie hasn't even played close to what his potential is yet. And they're still playing pretty decent. That's a big win over Texas. Texas is no joke. That's a good team right there. So I really like Villanova long term. I think that they have a real shot to win it all this year, as crazy as that sounds with how good Gonzaga is. But yeah, I think that people are kind of being a little, it's early. I think they still need to work out some things. But I think Villanova is going to figure it out. And I love Illinois. Yeah, I would say those two teams.
And I know you had Colin Gillespie on, right? And in one of your recent shows. So what do you see from Gillespie as a floor general? And I know CJ, who we were referencing, he kind of was baffled by that Colin Gillespie still has some eligibility still, which is kind of ironic as we're all Seton Hall alums, and he's a Seton Hall killer himself. But just talk about Colin Gillespie as a player and how he really is the engine that goes for Villanova.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough great things I could say about Colin and his game. First of all, his story is amazing. I when we interviewed him, I told him, like, yo, I don't know if you remember, but my brother recruited you at a high school, and my brother was a coach for a D2 school. So it's just, it was, everyone gave him was given, Jay Wright a lot of crap for taking him on, and then he proved them wrong that he belongs, and then he took it to another level and proved, hey, I can lead a team to where they are, the place that they're at now. So I think, basically what I'm getting at is, if there's one thing I've learned, is to not doubt Colin Gillespie, right? He's gotten to a place right now in his game, is playing at a level that we never thought was possible for him. So I think there's a lot of people doubting him right now. It's just his track and going off his track record. I think that's a huge mistake. So yeah, he's a great floor general. Is a capable scorer. Just really has a good feel for not only playing for himself and doing his own thing out there, but as well as getting guys involved and playing a full team game. So he is Villanova basketball. He's everything it embodies. And I can another guy I can go on forever about. I'm a big Colin guy.
Yeah, I have actually a funny story. At the Big East Championship game, Nova versus Seton Hall, I was actually sitting behind his parents at that.
Really?
I was right behind his parents, and none of us knew. And then until they turned around, because I think we created like a Miles Powell chant, and they turned around like that was probably the greatest thing ever. And then we just talked for like 10-15 minutes while the game, during the halftime. It was awesome, just like to get to know his parents. They are two of the nicest people I've gotten to actually speak to, and I have nothing but praise for the Gillespie family. So yeah, it was kind of ironic. It was just by chance, by the Seton Hall tickets from the athletic department, and we were right behind Gillespie's family. It was wild.
That's incredible. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I feel like you have to have, even as a Seton Hall fan, I think a part of you has to have respect for Colin and everything he's achieved. It's just, even though there's a rivalry there, but I think a part of every Seton Hall fan should have some respect for him, as much as you want to hate him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just want to transition to some massive games that are going to be happening this week. Like just today alone, there's a huge slate of college basketball. We have Ohio State at Notre Dame, Creighton at Kansas, North Carolina at Iowa, Illinois, Duke. There's some huge games today. There's also some big time matchups on Wednesday, Michigan State, Virginia. Thursday, you have San Diego State, Arizona State. What are the games that you're going to be keeping your eye on this week, and what do you expect? What do you want to see from these big matchups?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the ones that pop up are, Illinois, Duke is just so electric. Like, I'm going to be glued to my TV when that's on. North Carolina, Iowa is amazing. I actually am interested to see, obviously Creighton, Kansas too. I'm probably missing a couple others, but I'm really curious to see Rutgers, Syracuse too. Going to be interesting.
That is a sleeper game tonight.
Exactly. So I'm curious to see how the Scarlet Knights are going to respond to Cuse. They aren't the Cuse that I guess they're not, as highly touted as some Q's teams have been in the past, but never sleep on a Jim Boeheim team ever. So I'm curious to see how the Scarlet Knights respond to them. But yeah, I mean, the game I'm most intrigued with is probably Duke, Illinois, just because I was talking about Illinois earlier. I think, they're so much fun to watch. North Carolina, Iowa, like Luka Garza versus North Carolina bigs is going to be interesting. They have, Sharp, Baycott, and, Garrison Brooks. So it's going to be an interesting matchup there. Yeah, I mean, this is like like Christmas for any college basketball fan tonight. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you have a pulse, you'll like the games tonight. It's just it's insane. So yeah, I'm thrilled. I don't know about
And
you.
no shot at the NFL, but I'm gonna be watching college basketball over the Ravens Cowboys tonight without question.
Sorry,
I
no question
hate to
about
break
it,
it to you.
dude.
I'm a big NFL guy, but I will not be watching Ravens Cowboys, I don't think today.
100%.
I'm intrigued to see. I mean, Kansas has been a little bit up and down so far. I really want to see if this is real Creighton's first real test today. I want to see how Zagorowski, Balik really, and how McDermott will be able to take on the athleticism that Kansas brings with Garrett. And I know Kansas got punched around by Gonzaga a couple weeks ago, and then they everyone thought Kentucky was going to blow them out last week, and then they responded. So I want to see how Creighton's got a real test today against a Kansas team, and I'm pretty sure it's at Allen. It is at Allen Fieldhouse, and that's just a brutal place to play for any team. So I think
Right.
Creighton's going to have I think we're going to see where Creighton's at early on in the season with a
100%.
big test.
100%. No, it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm a big Marcus guy. I think he's awesome. True Big East player. And to see Creighton go over this early in the season, go over to Kansas and get tested like this is pretty cool. It's gonna show, okay, what are they really made of? Are they ready to play a big time team like Kansas? So, and are they capable of winning this game? I think so. I can't see, and listen, I could be completely wrong. I
Yeah.
can't see McDermott bringing those guys over there and them not being prepared. I think he's too good of a coach for them not to at least put up a good fight here. So yeah, that game's going to be awesome. And the fact that it's happening this early is so sick. So yeah, I mean, don't doubt, the Blue Jays with Marcus, leading them, and obviously they have Christian Bishop and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go on a limb. I don't know if you are even asking me for picks right now, but I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna pick the Blue Jays for that one. So
Yeah, we could throw in
picking
some
them.
picks. I like it. I like that Creighton pick.
Yeah,
I love Iowa today, actually. I really do. I love
yeah,
Iowa. I mean, I talked about this on my last Friday about when North Carolina just lost to Texas. North
right.
Carolina just has gotten nothing from their guards on the perimeter. Their guards
Besides
shooting at
RJ's done has done a decent amount.
RJ's done a little bit, but everyone else that's getting 10 minutes plus, they're shooting roughly 35% or less. And
Right,
RJ, I mean, he struggled against Texas, but everybody's
he
struggling
did.
against Texas right now. I think Texas easily is going to have a top 10 defense this year. I think
For
that
sure, man.
I think they're that good defensively sound under Shaka Smart. But I think you're going to see Garza is going to impose his will again today. I think he's just too good. I think he's
He's
got
really
all the
good, man.
tools. He's legit. And
He's awesome, man.
I think people have taken him for granted so far with him having 35 points in the first half due to the competition. And he's going to
Right.
get, like as you mentioned earlier, some tests with the North Carolina front, but I think he's just going to show up and show out. And I love this Hawkeyes team too. I think they're
For sure.
easily a legit contender this year. I think they're the class of the Big Ten, them and Michigan State. So we'll see.
Dude, anytime you have a combination of the talent that they have at Iowa and a coach like Fran McCaffrey, anything's possible, dude. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I like that pick. I would probably go. I think that's a safe pick. I would go Iowa in that one. And then Duke, Illinois. Who do you got for Duke, Illinois?
I I like Illinois in an upset. I really do.
Okay.
I know you've been preaching Illinois. You're a big Illinois guy, but I just don't know. I think Duke's still trying to figure themselves out at the moment.
Absolutely.
And I think they were exposed a little bit playing against Michigan State, especially Michigan State going into Cameron and kind of beating them up in that second half. So I think Illinois got a real shot, and I can't really say his name. The Desonmu, he's a
Good enough.
superstar. He's an
I
absolute
know, it's awesome.
superstar. I think
Really good.
him and that backcourt are two superstars. They need for Illinois tonight. If they can just get any production from a third guy, they'll win tonight. They just need if they can get a third, because that's their issue. Their backcourt's going to put up numbers no matter what. If they can just get a third guy, maybe just get 10 to 12 points, like they'll be able to pull that game out. So I think it's just going to be it's going to be an unsung hero for Illinois tonight. But I do like them in an upset because I think Duke's very young and they're still trying to figure out their identity, how to play right now under Krzyzewski. What do you got?
I agree. I'm going Illinois as well. I think, it's a little early. And I think, dude, here's the thing, about Duke, right? They have talent is not the issue at all here, right? I think it's a thing where it's a lot of newcomers and they're still gelling together. I think once we get past the halfway mark, I really think, and listen, I could see Duke winning this game. I'm not writing that off by any means.
Absolutely.
I think anytime you have that amount of
it'll
talent,
be a very close game.
Anything's possible, right? So, but I think once they get past that halfway mark and they really start to gel with when you have guys like Jalen Johnson and DJ Stewart and so on and so forth, I think that then we'll see, okay, what is this Duke team capable of? And I really think, when it's all said and done, I think they'll be, I could see Duke, and it's no crazy thing to say here. I think they're probably going to be like a 2 seed with the amount of talent they have. And I think, when they start gelling, I think they can really do some special things. But right now, I still think I agree with you. They're still figuring things out.
Yeah. And then the last game we're going to end up talking a little bit about Seton Hall, but the last major game that I want to reference is tomorrow, Michigan State going on the road to Virginia. And as I've mentioned this already multiple times, I think Michigan State has been the most underrated team so far.
No one's talking about them.
Exactly. And I think Tom Izzo is thriving off of that, especially when you lose someone in Cassius Winston, who's been the dude for the Spartans for the past 4 years. And now I think everyone's kind of just like taking them for granted, saying they don't have a true guy on that team right now. But they are playing perfectly sound team basketball on both ends of the floor. They don't care who the top guy is who's this leading scorer in that night. All they're caring about is victories. And you know how Virginia plays. I think this will be a tight game because Virginia's defense is always top 5 in the country, if not the best in the country. But I think Virginia has showcased that they still can't score on a consistent basis. So I think Virginia's favored in that one. I would take Sparty right now and run with that.
Are they favored? Is that the line?
Yeah, let's see here. I got the spread right here. Yeah, UVA. UVA's favored. It's at UVA though, which is probably why. But still, I'm taking Michigan State there without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I guess because it's there, and obviously, like UVA's like gonna figure it out. But I think right now they're still working through some kinks. I agree with you. I'm going Michigan State. Joey Hauser. I love Rocket Watts. And Aaron Henry. So I think and you mentioned, they don't have the guy this year. Those 3 guys that I just mentioned are really, really good. Like they're very
absolutely.
good players.
I don't think because they don't have that dog that that Cassius Winston, he's a dog. He's going to be the guy down the stretch, but they can go to any of those guys down the stretch and be perfectly fine, which is kind of interesting that they're being slept on so much.
No, I think they're very. I agree with you.
I think this is a Hauser brothers matchup too tomorrow.
It is. Joey versus
battle.
Sam,
battle of the brothers. So, and Joey. I didn't
even think about that. That's crazy.
How ironic that they both left Marquette. That's very.
I know.
How about that win though? Marquette win.
over Wisconsin.
Yeah, how about that? That was impressive.
So what I tried watching it back. So what was the deal? They called the foul. They like what, and they
He
ran
fouled.
seconds off.
So apparent. All right. So this is what I've heard from the people I've been talking to about it.
Right.
So from what I was told, so Trice hits the bucket on the other end, right?
Yeah.
And they're coming down, and apparently Trice clearly fouls, which is, but apparently they took off. Apparently they stopped the clock early when he fouled by like a couple tenths. I don't think it was
Right.
going to make that big of a difference because I think Marquette would have still had time to take the shot. I
Yeah.
was more blown away that why it's Trice fouling because Marquette had no idea what the clock was. They were not getting that shot off in time,
Right.
without a doubt. If he just lets him try, because he was trying to get to the rim, and he's nowhere near the rim. He's like the shot's not getting off. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, they did stop the shot clock or the clock a little early. But I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I think it was probably just like a couple tenths or anything. There's probably still would have been time on the clock.
Right.
That's what I've seen and what's what I've heard. So
Right.
from the people I've been talking to.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, I mean that's an insane win. I mean, I think everyone was I was a little questionable on Wisconsin. Thought, it was a little crazy to have them ranked that high, if I'm being honest. So I think they got a little bit of a reality check. Who knows? Maybe in like are you there?
Yeah, you're good. You're
You hear
good.
me? I think maybe they figure it out later, but yeah, I think 4 was a little ambitious. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was an insane win for them. Huge.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, just I know just to wrap up, I know we're Seton Hall guys. We gotta talk Seton Hall. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to talk about them since their comeback victory on Sunday, and that was a major quality win going into Penn State. But just from what I've seen, I know everyone's praising Seton Hall. I don't think people have really understood how Penn State really blew that game in regulation with their clock management. I mean, I
Right.
don't know if you watched it, but like
I didn't get to watch the full game, but yeah, I
but
heard.
at
I was
down
hearing
the
it.
stretch, Penn State was taking shots so early in the shot clock when they were up. I think it was like 7 with a couple minutes left, and they really just they were rushed bad shots that led to the Seton Hall coming back. And all props to Seton Hall. They won the game in overtime. They didn't, but Penn State really lost that game in regulation. I just want what are your take on what do you think our Pirates are going to look like this year? Because I think we're going to be relatively middle of the pack from what I've been seeing. Because we're
I
playing up to comp. I don't think we have much separation between those upper tier and lower tier teams. I think we're going to be relatively smack in the middle from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I think people are hitting the panic button a little too soon. I think it's kind of early. Um, Listen, beating Oregon would have been insane. Like it was one of those games I could have seen like Seton Hall wins it somehow. It was a typical, how they lose a bad game like to Rhode Island and they come back and win, like typical Seton
Yeah.
Hall. But like I think it's a little early because I think, luckily, when you watch that Louisville game, you see Bryce go down. It looks like he tore something in his knee or something. It looked crazy. And then we get the
I
report
think it's only a
it's
high
only a
ankle
sprain.
sprain. Yeah, it's only a
It's
high
only a
ankle.
sprain.
It looked like it was way worse than it actually is.
Exactly. So, that's great news. And I feel like people are forgetting about the fact that Bryce Aiken's coming back. Like, Bryce Aiken's a very, very talented player. Like, very, very talented. One of the most highly coveted transfers in the market, and Seton Hall landed him. So the hype is real. And I think that people are kind of forgetting about that on his return. So it's like, if you're a Seton Hall fan, why are you hitting the panic button when someone huge part of your team, debatably the most talented player, right up there with Mamu, is missing? You know
I
what I
think he
mean?
is the best player on that team.
There you go. And it's like, I think we let's wait this out a little bit. And hey, if they're not playing well with Bryce and things aren't looking good, then okay, maybe then hit the panic button. But dude, like, after a win against Penn State, and you said they blew it, whatever. Either way, still a good win, still a quality win, even though Penn State's a little down. Still a good win to come back like that. And once they get Bryce back, dude, anything's possible. So yeah, I think it's little early to be freaking out like some Seton Hall fans are.
Yeah, that's understandable. I am one of the ones that I'm just going based off what I'm seeing. And I know Bryce
Right.
isn't playing, but I just don't know what you're gonna get, because if Bryce Aiken does not be that other dude with Mamu, I don't have enough right now. I have not seen enough from Jerry Roden or Miles Cale to give me any confidence that they're going to be that second scorer.
Right.
So if Bryce Aiken, Bryce, I love Bryce Aiken. I loved him at Harvard. He's the one that carried them into the tournament every year when they were hitting their stride. So for him, but he's got to be able to stay on the court. That's his biggest problem, is being able to stay on the court. So we'll see with that. I mean, Mamu's been an absolute stud so far. He's been a beast, and I think he's going to put up big numbers this year, because I think he knows he's going to his shot volume is going to be way up with Powell gone. So,
yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of it, and I'm just going to repeat myself here, but it's just the truth. A lot of it depends on Bryce. You know what I mean? Because Jared is might not be totally ready for that second scorer spot like you're talking about. Miles is not. It doesn't appear so. If Bryce comes in and really changes things, it could do. It's going to make a world of difference. So yeah, I think it's all dependent on that. And he like the ceiling for this team's only so high without him. And when he comes, the ceiling gets that much higher. So I think you just gotta wait and see. Basically, it's just a little bit of a waiting game right now, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And then I have one final question for you before I let you go. Pat, I know with scheduling, it's been a little crazy. You're going to play teams that probably weren't on your schedule with the cancellations, and you're going to see teams throwing teams on there without 1 or 2 days rest. And I've had this opinion, especially for the freshmen, that it's almost like an AAU kind of feel for them, that you're just going to be going out and playing. And I think that's going to be an advantage a little bit of an advantage for the freshmen this year in collegiate basketball, especially that, hey, you're not really going to be going that much into depth now about figuring out a strategy, how to play these guys. You're just going to go out and play. Do you think that's going to help elevate the freshmen this year for these guys?
I think you're talking about the differences,
the scheduling with if you're going to play one opponent and then it ends up being canceled, and then you just throw in another team, which is, you've already seen happen
not
multiple
as much
times.
Preparation.
Yeah, I think it's almost like an AAU kind of feel.
It could be. It could be because you have less. You're saying because you have less time to prepare, to have I guess as much game planning. So you have to do a lot more almost like freestyling, or
you're just going out and playing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that could make it things more comfortable. I think also for the freshmen, I think the cancellation stuff's interesting. I mean, I haven't even thought about that. I think also another thing is without there being fans, I think playing on the road for freshmen, you have guys like seniors and juniors like Mamu, who's played on the road plenty of times in front of tons of fans. You're already used to that. As a freshman, playing against your rival with 10,000 fans screaming at you, you're like a deer in the headlights, dude. It's a crazy experience. So I think that's one thing that I think for sure has definitely made an impact on freshmen. It's definitely much easier to play on the road. You don't have to get used to that aspect of it. So yeah, I think that's what I've been kind of keying in on a little bit. I think that's pretty interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna have fans at some point, or no?
I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the thing that was interesting was the Final Four. What is it? It's all being played in Indy, right?
Yeah, I think all of March Madness is going to be in Indy. So I don't know how it's going to work. I think they're going to be playing at some high school gyms, some college gyms, and then at Lucas Oil Stadium. I think it's going to be the Final Four. It looks like. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I think
it'll be intriguing.
I think that, I don't know if that's like a precursor to of them saying, hey, we're doing something similar to what the NBA did, and having it all on one site and no fans, and kind of just running a deal like that, maybe. But I think if that's the case, then I think that kind of gives you an idea of, okay, there's not going to be fans this year if they're already playing that far ahead.
I think it's going to be wild though, just to have 64 teams in one area.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it specifically. Listen, that's a huge organization. They're going to figure it out, and they're
They're
going
going
to
to
do it
rent
the right
out the
way.
entire city of Indianapolis, basically
Dude,
for hotels.
they're gonna make it happen. Trust me. There's too much money on the line for that not to go down. So no, I think that's gonna be, geez, man. I mean, like, yeah, like we were all picturing it last year, right? When it got canceled. We're like, okay, like now it's canceled, but there's like it's gonna be limited fans or something. And then all the memes you see popping up, whatever, and just like, yeah, I mean, like everything that we thought last year, right before they canceled it, like that's good, like that where like there was gonna be no fans, whatever, that's gonna be the case this year. Which is insane. It's insane to think, like you said, 64 teams, all in one area. All these guys, you're used to going to the regional sites or whatever. No, no, that's not the case this year. They're all in one area. So yeah, it's the whole thing's nuts. It's crazy seeing Cameron Indoor, seeing faces on cardboard, where the Cameron
Yeah.
crazies would be. The whole thing's nuts, but personally, I could care less, man. I mean, this is awesome that college basketball is back, and it's been pretty solid so far. So yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing's nuts. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. We're all blessed that college basketball is even playing at all. So I think we're just we need to take that and just be like, hey, we're even playing. Like, and these college
Exactly.
athletes are going way out of their way. These universities are going way out of their way to help us enjoy some time and watch some college football, some just collegiate sports in general. So Pat, I just
Exactly.
want to thank you, my man, for coming on. I appreciate it,
Blaine,
brother.
Blaine. It's the least, like I said, I'm going to say it again, dude. There's two people that helped me graduate college for sure. Like without a doubt, it's my mom and then it's Blaine Spencer. Like without a doubt, dude. So me hopping on a 10-15 minute thing, whatever, dude, I owe you a lot more. So, hey, whatever I can do to help out, man.
Hey, definitely, brother. Next time we'll try and get CJ on. All right, next time
100%, dude.
we'll get both of you guys on. But it was a privilege. Again, Pat Lawless from the front office. Go follow his stuff. They got great content over there. So go see the front office. And remember, I just dropped an interview yesterday. I interviewed Seton Hall legend Khadijah Simmons. So please go check that out. That's on the YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts and more. Again, thank you. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Go enjoy your college basketball. And we're gonna wrap up. Again, look out for me on Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays, final whistle.